All right, guys, we're doing another mod today on the 2024 Harley Davidson Street Glide. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know I ran a Razor Pack on my 2016 Street Glide in Vivid Black. I really like the looks of that, and I like having that pack, but that pack was just a hair small when we would go on a 4 or 5 day trip. And this year we're going to Sturgis this next year, so I thought I would try a little bit bigger pack. So today we're going to be putting on a chopped white onyx pearl Tour-Pak from Harley Davidson. So I've got the mounts and everything here. We're going to get started on this thing and put it together. Let's see how it goes. When we get done, I want to know from you guys, what do you think of the look? Do you like Razor Packs better than chop packs? Or do you think, you should just get a king pack for a big trip and then not run it when you're not traveling on a big trip? All right, guys, we're going to start off by putting the mounting rack on the back of the bike and then putting the Tour-Pak on it. Steve's here today, so he'll help me with assembly. I got an extra set of hands. That'll make things a little easier. Now, I got my bike in white onyx pearl with black trim, so we got a black mounting rack to match. All right, guys, make sure these rotate in and that little arm pops out. That shows that that's locked in. That's really important to me. You don't want anybody coming off the back of your bike because a pack or a rack or a backrest or anything comes off. So on these detachable kits, make sure you get them in really good, snug, locked in. All right, for our installation, Harley Davidson recommends you use these spacers. I don't know if you use them on all of them, but they did recommend them on the chopped Tour-Pak. Maybe it raises it up enough that the rest isn't setting against the paint or something else. I know on my Razor Pack that the backrest, the pad for the backrest, would bunch up and set against the fender. So maybe that's what this is about. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just isolation for vibration. If somebody knows more than me about this, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, part numbers and links for all of this stuff will be in the description down below if you want to know exactly what pieces I am using today for this install. Those are affiliate links, and it does support the channel if you use them. FTC disclaimer required. Man, that Let's Roll Dolly lift is really handy. We threw that underneath the bike just to level the bike up, because when it's on the kickstand, these spacers want to slide out and stuff. So now everything's going to stay in place while we line it up, and we're not going to be fighting gravity. All right, guys, it's a lot easier when you have somebody to help you. Steve kind of held the thing in place, held the bolts on the top while we put washers and nuts on the bottom. We used the bolts that came with the spacer kit to put that part in from inside the Tour-Pak, a washer and that bolt. And then we used the bigger fender washers and the nuts that came with the pack itself on the bottom side. Now we got to tighten all that up. All right, now this uses 7/16 bolts and nuts. So I'm going to hold the nuts on the bottom with a regular wrench. Steve's going to use a ratcheting wrench to do the top. Then I'm going to go get my inch-pounds wrench, and we're going to torque these to specifications. Last thing you want to do is over-tighten something like this and crack this. These are plastic components, don't forget. All right, guys, if you buy this and you don't order that optional lock, then you can still run it and latch it, but you don't have a lock in there. We'll put that in there in a minute. That's going to make all the difference. I want to find out if this lock will work in other latch kits. So if you bought an aftermarket like I've done in the past, could I have ordered a lock kit to go in there so it would be keyed the same rather than having to have a different key? I think that really is something that makes a big difference on an aftermarket, is having it keyed the same. If you could get matching locks, that'd be awesome. All right, guys, this is our chopped pack backrest. Goes in here. It's got 3 studs already coming off the back of it, so we just got to feed it through the 3 holes that are already in here drilled, and put the washers and the lock nuts on the back. 70 to 80 inch-pounds on these. The Tour-Pak was 60 to 70 foot-pounds, so we did those at about 68. We're going to do these at about 75. So if you didn't know, you can order a lock from your Harley dealer. Now you'll have to show proof of ownership by using like your title with your VIN on it, but they can take your VIN and order a lock to match your saddlebags. So I got that picked up from Renegade Harley Davidson. I think it was around $60, but don't quote me on that, but that's ballpark. And of course, the price could change between now and whenever you order one. I did check, and this lock will go in my aftermarket, we'll call it less expensive, more affordable Tour-Pak than the factory Tour-Pak that I have here. So what this means is you can order a lock from the dealership and put it in an aftermarket Tour-Pak and have it keyed the same. Many of you probably knew this, but I didn't. It never occurred to me. I never even thought about having two keys is not the end of the world. I never thought it was a big deal, so I didn't have to have two keys. Once in a while, wrong key, fumbling with it, but it sure is nice to have it all keyed the same. I would definitely do that if I was getting another aftermarket pack in the future for the 50 or 60 bucks. Just my personal preference, but it's real simple. 2 screws go in here, nothing to the install. Now the lock did not come with screws. I actually took the screws out of the Tour-Pak assembly for the more affordable version that I have, and then went and matched them at the hardware store and bought 2 screws to go in there. I was kind of surprised he didn't come with that. Harley Davidson, you can do a little better there. We need the screws with the lock because they don't come with the Tour-Pak either. Not that I saw. So let's talk about finish. I mean, obviously the paint is a perfect match here. It's what you would expect from the Harley Davidson factory. One reason I didn't do an aftermarket on this is because this color was a new color for 24. There's a few companies doing aftermarket painted stuff to match, but choices were limited. And I got a deal from Harley Davidson on this when I got the bike, so that was kind of my deal. Now what I've learned is the quality is a little better. This thing seals better than my aftermarket, more affordable version. If you guys have seen that video, I'll throw a link to it down below. If you're looking for something more affordable than the factory version, you can get Vivid Black, you know, in a lot of the more affordable brands like TCMT. I was able to get a razor pack with mounts for $300 a few years ago for that bike. I don't know if that price is still right, but link in the description down below for the video for that. But I wanted to chop pack and I wanted it color matched. And as always, Harley Davidson's quality is perfect. Now, it did not come with these liners in them. We're gonna have another video on that and talk about these, but they're a great upgrade. These, by the way, are from Hogworks. I'm really happy with the Tour-Pak. One thing that also you should know about buying something like this version, I can't talk about all aftermarket versions, but the affordable one that I purchased before, I'm trying not to use the word cheap, did not have any pre-drilled holes in it. I had to drill everything and measure it. I had to, figure out what I wanted the backrest exactly and mark that, and that was a little more work. It didn't come with mounting hardware to the plate. I had to go buy that myself. This came with everything you need except for the 2 screws when you order the lock kit. And everything was pre-drilled, so assembly was a lot quicker and easier with this. And everything, of course, lines up perfectly, just like you would expect from Harley Davidson. If you want to see more content on upgrades for the new touring models and stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video if you got some value out of it. And as always, y'all stay safe, keep on riding, and we'll see you in the next one.